Today I'm tackling a few projects around the house that have been on my to-do list for such a long time. I've got a new tool I've never used and some projects around the house that I'm hoping I can finally finish. I've only got a few hours to work today, so let's see how much we can actually get done. But first, I haven't had time to eat lunch yet, so the second protein shake of the day, it is. So I usually get the Premier Protein cookie dough shake, but I wanted to switch it up, and I have tried this before and really liked it. It is the Alani's cookies and cream protein shake, and it is really good. I always buy unsweetened almond milk, but I was at Walmart the other day picking up groceries, and I was not paying attention. There's just so many people around at Walmart, and I hate going in there and having to fight through the aisles to get stuff. And I didn't pay any attention, and I got the regular vanilla almond milk. I usually get the unsweetened almond milk, but it's okay. It'll be fine for this time. When I go this weekend, I will remember to get the right almond milk. I have downloaded an app. I cannot remember the name of it. I'll try to put it on the screen. But it is a calorie counter app. And it also is supposed to track your water intake and daily activity and all that stuff. It's a 7-day free trial. So I started it yesterday. And I'm going to keep doing it and see how I like it. Once the 7-day trial is over, it is only $40 a year though, so that's not bad. And there's a lot of stuff in that app that I haven't even discovered yet because I've just been putting in the calories. Now that my lunch is fixed, I can finally get started. I've got another big project coming up, but after I get it finished, I'm hoping I can finish the dining room. So these boards are already nailed up, but they don't have a nail in every single spot where it needs to be nailed at. My granddad brought his air compressor and his nail gun, but I think the nail gun got jammed or something and he couldn't get it fixed. He did tell us we could use his air compressor if we wanted to go buy our own nail gun, but his air compressor is huge and it's very heavy and it shakes like the whole floor. So I decided to go and get a cordless nail gun from Amazon. I didn't even realize these things existed until I just started looking into it and researching. I have never used one of these, so I'm a little bit nervous. It comes with its own little carry-in and storage bag. A charger. I didn't even think about this. I hope this is charged. If not, I might have to come back to this later. It's got 2 batteries, and it did come with some nails and some staples. Well, I did not prepare very well because I did not think about the batteries needing to be charged, but that's okay. I've got one of them on the charger, and while it's charging up, I want to go ahead and get started on the kitchen ceiling, and maybe we can finish it this time. Somebody suggested in a previous video that I try liquid nails for this project, so I finally picked up some at Walmart, and I'm really hoping that this will work because I do not want to have to nail these ceiling tiles by hand over my head because that's hard. Last time I just freehanded it and it ended up being a little short, so this time I actually want to take the time and measure out the tiles and see if that works a little bit better. I got so aggravated with this utility knife. They make it so hard just to get in there. That's where you have to store the blades, is on the inside. It took me 9 minutes to get the blades out and get it
put back together. And I went through 3 screwdrivers for one little utility knife. I was so aggravated. So the first tile was about 6 1/4 inches, and I could have lined it up perfectly and marked on the tile and all that stuff, but I was not about to go through all that. So I just figured out where my measurement was and freehanded the rest. And then once I didn't even have to go all the way through, I was able just to, you see, easily snap it in half.
Now for the moment of truth. This says secure times 24 hours. So obviously I can't stand up here for 24 hours. But I'm going to hold it as long as I can. And then hopefully we'll just pray that it actually sticks. I've held it for 2 minutes, so hopefully this will stick, and I'm going to move on to the next tile.
I know you see the water stain on the old ceiling tiles. Do not worry, that leak is old. We fixed our roof about 3 years ago, and before that, it sprung probably at least like 20 leaks all over the place. So we did finally get that fixed, thank goodness. Later on, I am going to go in there and clean up the tiles and fix them and caulk it and paint it and do all that thing. I just wanted to make sure for now that this was actually going to work and hold it up. So I do know that it looks a little crazy, but it's all about the progress. And while I was working on this ceiling, I noticed that the UPS driver was pulling up with a package. So I had to go out there, and of course, Fudgy noticed too. And she ran in there and followed after me. And she's got where she loves to bark at the UPS man for some reason. And I don't know why, because our UPS guy is great. I bought a rebounder off of TikTok, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a little mini workout trampoline, and I was super excited. But after I bought it, before it got here, I was reading a comment on one of the videos, and it was talking about how if you have like sciatic nerve pain or back pain or anything like that, that it can actually make it worse. And that kind of concerned me, because I have been able to keep my sciatic pain at a very minimum. I've done something to my back years ago. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was caused excruciating pain. So I've basically had to relearn how to lay on my back in different positions that I can and cannot sit. And I've done very well at that. I still have sciatic pain, but it's rarely, and typically it's not as bad. I have had some instances where I have laid wrong and been in excruciating pain. But anyways, within like a minute of bouncing on that thing, I was already having really bad back pain. So I ended up just sending it back.
I need to take a break for just a minute to get Ethan on some tea before work. I made extra spaghetti yesterday because I knew I had to film today. So I'm just going to heat him up that in a little bit once the tea gets done and make his lunchbox. But while I'm waiting on that, one of the batteries for the nail gun has finally charged. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to work this thing and not injure myself. I already put the nails in the nail gun. I'm super nervous. Okay, well, I actually put 2 of them in, so I'm pretty proud of myself. So let's see if we can keep this going and how much I could get done. But I'm going to put this down because I absolutely do not want to shoot a nail off.
You can hear Sadie in the background barking. She was in the room with her dad. I didn't want all of them in here with me while I was trying to work, especially with a new tool, and I can be very clumsy, but she was not a fan of that thing. Her or our little Peaches, they were both in there barking. They did not know what was going on, and they did not like the sound of it. But I did really like this thing. It was really easy to use. It had enough power for what I needed. And I'll link it down in the description. I got it off Amazon for anybody that might be curious and wants to check it out. But overall, it was super easy to use. And I'm so glad we bought it. I know it's definitely going to come in handy when we're installing baseboards and trim and all that fun stuff. So I am very excited to have this new little tool.
I'm out of nails and I need to reload, but I'm going to make sure I take out my battery because I don't want to accidentally shoot off any nails. It says to load these on the left side, which confused me at first, but I figured it out. Ethan's tea's ready for me to make it, and I need to clean off my workspace, aka the kitchen counter. So I don't know of anywhere else we might need these, but I'm gonna save these just in case. My house feels so junky right now because I have so many items that I'm trying to declutter in the kitchen, in the living room, in the dining room. I've got some stuff a couple of my friends have claimed that they want. So one of them's coming to pick theirs up Friday. I don't know about the other one. And I've got a full box of stuff to donate to the animal rescue yard sale. So I've got to contact them and ask when I can meet them to drop that off. But I have got to get my butt in gear about decluttering the rest of my house. I feel like when I go through things, it's things that I want to keep, or it's things that maybe we use, but we still just have so much stuff. And something's got to give. Some stuff has to go. But we're really hoping maybe by the end of this year or sometime the beginning of next year, maybe we can get us a shed. And that is going to help so much with extra storage and for lawn equipment and tools. Because if y'all been on the channel for a while, then y'all know this bedroom back here is used for extra storage. Our porch is used for all our lawn maintenance stuff, all our tools. There's so much stuff just scattered around this house because we don't have enough storage. I have been keeping an eye on the local storage place here that sells sheds. They used to sell the really cute buildings. They don't do that anymore. And I've been keeping an eye on their little repo lots. For a small shed, we're looking at anywhere between like 14 to 1800 maybe, from what I'm seeing from the repos that are coming in. And ideally we would really just prefer to buy that in cash.
I forgot to add ice to Ethan's drink, so I had to go back and get the ice out of the freezer. And he's been taking all my ice every week, all the ice that I bring home from church, because he wants his drink super cold. But it's my fault, because I should probably just make it earlier on in the day, several hours before he needs it. That way it's actually cold. But I just never think about it. So after I finished getting all this together, then I finally finished up in the dining room, getting all the ceiling boards put up, and I was really proud of myself. This did not take as long as I was thinking it was going to, so I think this done a really good job. Once we get the trim installed around the ceiling, then I want to go in and stain it. I just don't know exactly which color yet.
I made him extra spaghetti yesterday because I knew I was not going to have time to cook today because I had to film. So I'm just going to add some shredded Parmesan cheese on top. I'm going to stick him a fork in his little front zipper pocket. Also made him some mozzarella sticks. I didn't really plan on it, but I think I'm finally going to get started on painting the rest of this wall tonight. That was not in my to-do plans today, but I am so tired of looking at that half-painted wall every time I go to edit a video for y'all. Things have finally settled down around here. I've got to cook me some supper in just a little bit, but I'm going to put on the first coat of primer before I do that. That way it has a chance to dry. I'm going to be so honest right now. I'm not in the mood to do this, but I know I have a feeling that once I get it done, I will be thankful that I finally did it. Because I keep putting this off and putting this off, and I hate seeing that half-painted wall. I'm sure I will be thankful to myself for finally getting this done, but y'all, I sure don't want to. I'm going in with a coat of Kiehl's paint primer first. And this is the Color Place Antique White. This is the one I had told y'all that I couldn't find and was scared that I had used it all without realizing it, because Walmart does not carry the Color Place brand anymore. They have phased it out, so I was worried that I was going to have to repaint all my walls that needed touched up or finished to match a different color. But thankfully I found this one. It's old, but it still works. Once I paint this wall in the kitchen, the rest of the kitchen will be on hold for a while because we still need to figure out what we're going to do about the kitchen floor. It has to be replaced, but unfortunately I have a feeling we're probably going to have to hire it out for a professional, because Ethan and my granddad used to do that kind of work, but my granddad's in his late 70s now, and you know, Ethan is injured and in severe chronic pain every single day. I do have new outlet covers, so I will be changing these out. The first thing I'm going to do is dust the walls, so then I can go back in and wipe them down and just make sure they're clean before I start painting. Now I'm just going in with some degreaser.
So I just grabbed an empty yogurt bowl and I'm using my really wide paintbrush, and it was kind of too wide for the bowl I chose, but I was already committed to using this and I was not going to go look for another paintbrush and it got the job done. So it is what it is. But I do want to say I am not painting the trim around the door or the door yet, because I don't want to paint the trim if we end up just having to replace it. I am going to see if I can try to find a piece that matches. I have looked before at the store, but I don't have a spare piece I can take with me. So I'm kind of just going off of the memory of the design, and I'm really having trouble finding a matching piece at the store. So if I can't find a matching piece, then I will just have to replace the trim around the entire door. So I just don't see the point in doing all that work for nothing. And that is what I had for separate. This is what the wall is looking like after 3 coats of primer here and 2 coats here where it was already painted. Now I'm going in with my first coat of antique white. I hope it's my only coat, but it probably won't be. I'm going to say I'm probably going to have to do at least 2 coats. But I'm so ready to get finished with this and be done. It is already 9:15 at night. I did not think I was going to spend pretty much the entire day doing all this little stuff around the house. I just gave myself a couple hours to work around my schedule, and I ended up doing this until like almost 11 o'clock at night. It was a little bit after 10, so I spent most of the day doing that. But I am glad that I did do all this. That's just a few more little things off the checklist. And that's what matters most, is actually getting up and doing something and just making a little bit of progress without worrying about perfection. It's so much better to have progress over perfection. At least something's done. I think sometimes we can get in the mindset of, if it's not perfect, then I'm not doing it. And I know that is something I have struggled with. So just get in there and start. It's the next morning. I did not finish the second coat of the antique white paint until it was like after 10 o'clock last night, and I needed to give it a chance to dry. So after it dried this morning, I just come in and put new wall outlet covers on there, and then put my remote back up. And the liquid nails work to hold up the ceiling tiles, so I'm just super happy with that. And I know we still have so much progress left to make. We're not where we want to be on this wall yet, but hopefully we will be there soon enough. I might go look again this weekend and see if I can find either the piece that matches that trim, because I'm having a really difficult time finding matching trim, or I'm just going to get all new trim and just completely redo all of this around here. So our living room ceiling used to look like really dingy and bad like this one does. Like not even just over here, but you can kind of see how dingy it is around the rest of the ceiling. And a few years ago, I knew that it was just not in the budget to replace the entire living room ceiling. So I come through, and as painstaking and time consuming as it was, I caulked all the lines throughout the ceiling tiles and went back and painted them, and I will show you what it looks like, but it looks really, really good. So I am eventually going to do that with the kitchen ceiling. I have also been putting that off for a long time because it's a lot, but hopefully we can get the trim around the store done soon. And I'm hoping to eventually either find matching trim to go around the rest of the kitchen, or I will have to completely replace all of that too, which I'm kind of nervous about because I don't know how to cut angles. So we'll see how all that turns out. I don't know when that will be, but we will get to it sometime. But I do feel like this has definitely made a difference. I'm definitely going to see the difference when I'm editing the videos and I'm not seeing a half painted wall behind me. So I'm excited about that. And I know we still have quite a ways to go, but I'm just so excited about the progress that we're making. But we are making progress, and that's the best thing. Sometimes things don't just happen in a flash, and sometimes it's just long, slow progress, and that's okay. I
I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all Monday.